Yo, 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 yo! Chad Gaspard and JTG, it's crime time!
Brooklyn, Brooklyn! Bringing it, the hood to you. Bringing it, what you gonna do? Bringing it, the hood to you. Bringing it, yeah, that's how. Hey, yo, no more Hollywood, this is Hollywood, and it's crime time. Be scared, you probably should.
Today on the Game Marks podcast, we fire up those arcade cabinets as we play WWF WrestleFest. How does this arcade classic live up to the rest of the Technos family, and will we play it forever or future endeavor?
You're fired!
All this plus our weekly tournament, Clash at the Feast. Plug in, put on those nostalgia goggles, because this week's Game Marks podcast starts now.
And now, the Game Marks!
Welcome to the Game Marks podcast. My name is Johnny Clash.
Well, then that makes me George Feast. And this week we are playing WWF WrestleFest.
And as always, we love to hear from you guys. So please leave us a review on Apple Podcast and make sure to subscribe and rate this podcast wherever you choose to listen, and join in on the conversation on social media at Game Marks Pod. Hey, George.
Hello, John.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well, bud. How are you?
You know, hanging on, staying home, washing my hands, the huge. The new
Steaks.
huge. Yeah, making steaks, making everything.
Yeah.
What you guys been doing?
Same. Playing a lot of drums. Doing a lot of graphic design for like other people.
Yeah, same.
And that's really it.
It's very I mean, we're keeping busy. Time is flying. I mean, I can't believe we're almost at June already.
Unbelievable. I can't wrap my head around how quickly this eventful yet very lackluster of a year is going.
Yeah, eventually we're gonna have to go back to work, and that's gonna suck.
Yeah,
it's gonna really suck.
My job's already talking about like, oh, we're gonna reopen the offices around this date. I'm like,
Get out of here.
Or you could just let us work from home forever.
Or as you see, we're all capable of doing this.
Yeah, I'm down for that. Let's just do that.
So last week we played Onita Atsushi FMW with the GOATest of all time, Bobby Orlando. I'm just going to say off the bat, I have no regrets as to my decision to future endeavor this one.
I will Bobby Orlando, play it forever. Onita Atsushi FMW, future endeavor. All day, every day, twice on Sunday.
Yeah, and as we said last week, next week on the pod, this is big. We have the owner of Retrosoft Studios, who is creating Retromania as we speak, Mike Herman. He will be joining us for an exclusive interview.
And you know, that interview is being set up by this week's game because that game is the official sequel to the game that we're playing today, WrestleFest.
Yeah, and we'll hear all about how it became the sequel, how we started signing wrestlers, which, speaking of, we said last week that Matt Cardona and Brian Myers are actually in the game, and they announced the Pro Wrestling Tees Arena, which is pretty cool, with the owner Ryan, which will be I don't think he'll be playable, I think he'll be a non-playable character in the game, which is pretty damn cool. Now, there was also speculation that possibly there will be a major arena, a major wrestling pod arena. I don't know. Maybe
a stomp arena?
in paradise.
I'll take a stomp
that would be
arena.
Pretty damn cool.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be cool. But speaking of pro wrestling tees, there is a sale going on, which actually ends today. If you're listening to this on Monday, when this episode comes out, you have until 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 12 p.m. Central Time to go and place your order. Just use code MEMORIAL and you will receive 20% off at checkout. That's on the entire store, but check out ours at prowrestlingtees.com/GameMarksPod.
And you know, if I didn't already own all of our shirts, I would absolutely be placing an order for them. But I did place a pretty hefty order using that code because, I mean, 20% makes a difference.
Yeah, every sale I kind of go nuts, but you see, I donate like a bag of shirts every time I get new shirts. So I'm like,
All right.
I saved this last time. I got to get rid of this one now.
You have a good rotation of shirts.
Yeah, they're all Wrestling and Islanders shirts.
And
so.
now they have
Yeah.
the official Owen Hart store on there, which is
Yeah.
great.
Oh, those are nice.
I can't wait.
just
The possibilities are. I can't wait.
Yeah, I want to give a quick shout out to Adam Gibbons for helping me complete my Sting Mattel collection, because as of right now, all I need is that Hall of Fame Sting Elite, and I have every single Sting Mattel. It's embarrassing, but at the same time, I think it's pretty awesome. But he
Wow.
helped me get the defining moments and the Ultimate Warrior 2-pack, and he said, plus a shout out. So here it is, buddy. Thank you.
That's awesome. I mean that's 2 weeks in a row you've got the hookup.
2 weeks in a row, yeah.
Wow, I gotta figure out what I'm collecting, because I've got such a random amassment of things. I've got regular figs. I've got these samurai Star Wars figs. I've got pops. You want me to go grab one? I'll show it to you right now.
No, it's okay. It's okay. later.
I'll post pictures of those figs. They're really cool, but they are a hefty price, so they're not something that you buy all at once. But yeah, I gotta get some kind of hookup for that.
Yeah, so if anyone has the Hall of Fame Sting, hit me up. I think next I'm going to tackle the Toy Biz WCW collection, because I'm very close on that one. But anyway, listen. That's a different show. How about we get into what we're here for and go into some gaming news?
Are you looking to get a better grip on life? How about your video games? Well, VGF Gamers are the largest silicone gaming brand in the USA. They have a variety of different and unique skins for the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One controllers and consoles. Check out their products at vgfgamers.com and use code GameMarks to receive 15% off your order at checkout. That's GAMEMARKS at checkout. VGF Gamers. Better grip, better style.
It was recently announced that Marvel's Iron Man VR would release on July 3rd, but last week Sony Interactive Entertainment revealed that the demo is now available on the PlayStation Network. As expected, the demo is in no way the full game itself, but it sounds like the playable portions really represent what this VR game brings to the table. We can't wait to see what this game from developer Camouflage brings to the table and the Marvel Universe. Publisher Take-Two Interactive announced today that Grand Theft Auto V has officially passed 130 million copies sold worldwide. According to the MPD Group, the game is also the best-selling game of the last decade in the United States. That accounts for both profits and units sold. Notably, the number of units does not account for the free copies that were given away in the Epic Store last week. So for all of those waiting for Grand Theft Auto 6, you might just have to wait a little more, because Grand Theft Auto 5 is still thriving. Check back next week for more gaming news.
All right, real quick. I'm going to cut you off in the gaming news because George, from this podcast, have a little bit of gaming news that I can share this week that you probably otherwise wouldn't have known about because you're not like a hardcore PC gamer. Did you know that as of today, as we are recording this on Thursday the 21st, that Amazon has officially published a game that is available on Steam?
What?
So there is a game. It is called Crucible. It is developed by Relentless Studios, published by Amazon, because Amazon now has a games division.
Of course they do.
It's a free-to-play, team-based, player-versus-player action shooter. So it's like a Counter-Strike or an Overwatch, but the decisions that you and your team make affect other aspects of the game. So it's like a heavy... It's almost like if they combined a first-person shooter with like... I'm going to say the term MOBA, and I know for a fact that you have no idea what that is. But like a League of Legends, do you know what that game is?
Yes.
Okay, so like that, where it's like there's power-ups and boosts that you can get by doing tasks, like mini games within the map itself.
Are Daniel Day-Lewis and Winona Ryder in it?
DLC.
Okay. different character.
But yeah, it's a free-to-play game on Steam. It is available, unfortunately, just for the Windows OS right now. So I'm sorry, John.
Yeah, well, I'm used to it.
But yeah, so that's my little snippet of gaming news because I thought that was really interesting. So back to you, John.
Yeah, I mean, but other than that, GTA, like, officially has taken over the world. This game came out in 2013, I think, and I mean, it's stronger than ever. They're constantly adding stuff. People are constantly playing. Obviously, people are still buying it. It was free on the Epic Store, so that's awesome. So even more people are playing it. I know my friends personally, we played the hell out of this game, and I keep wanting to go back. It's just, again, the hard drive space issue, which should be fixed because I ordered an external finally.
See, my problem with GTA, and this stands more for 5, because GTA as a whole spans well into the early 90s when it was just that top-down for like the original PlayStation. Like it is a timeless game series. You can go back and play those originals for the PlayStation 1 and they still hold up to the ones that are released now. My problem has always been the load times with GTA 5.
Yeah. At least they give you the option to press square in the opening loads so you could go right into online play.
Yeah. But I just
square for me.
Yeah. This for some reason that's always been like a pet peeve of mine. Like the game itself is beautiful. I actually played it like a week ago. I think I logged in because they had like some stimulus bonus where you got like $500,000 for literally just logging in.
Wow. Yeah, see, stuff like that. That's what keeps them going.
Yeah.
Like I wonder, I'm pretty sure by now my weed farm's all wilted, but maybe I'll go back and check it out.
I was like, give me your code. I'll go in and check it out.
But how about up next, we throw to the question of the week.
All right.
Finally, the Game Marks podcast has our own pro wrestling tees store. Brace yourself because the Game Marks podcast is now on ProWrestlingTees.com, featuring multiple designs created by us. Head on over to ProWrestlingTees.com/GameMarksPod today to play it forever. The question of the week. Every week we take turns and we ask each other a sometimes simple, sometimes complex, sometimes, just shooting the crap kind of question. Last week we asked, has there ever been a game that made you sad or upset or even cry? And I personally, which I have to correct myself, I thought all of that happened in Gears 3 with Dom and his wife, but it turns out Gears 2 was when he finds out his wife died. Gears 3 is when he actually dies. So spoiler alert from a few years ago. But it seemed like most people that responded said the saddest game they've played was the Telltale Walking Dead Season 1. And I played this, but I never made it to the end. I think I either got bored with it or I don't know. But
there were some good questions.
I don't remember it being said.
There were some good answers in there. You had people saying Metal Gear Solid. You had a lot of people that agreed with you and said the Gears series had some of the most heart-wrenching moments where, it was either Dom's wife or someone actually mentioned the scene where Dom himself okay, so I will say this. It makes me, at the very least, want to go back and watch like the cutscene movie of the game, just because you sent me and made me watch the scene with his wife, and it was
it hurts.
It was rough. Yeah, that's rough.
Hurts.
That was but this week it is my turn to ask the question, and one of last week's answers actually inspired me to think of the question that I'm going to ask this week. So my question this week to you is, John, favorite or most memorable weapon in a video game?
All right, well, that's easy because it goes back to Gears of War, of
I
course.
had a feeling that you were going to say that.
You're thinking I'm going to say the Lancer. I'm not going to say the Lancer. So the Lancer is an assault rifle that has
with the chainsaw.
A chainsaw attached.
That's what I thought you were going to say.
Great, it's memorable. I love the gun. Obviously, Gears 2, they added the chainsaw battles. Those were endless fun. Just both of you just start ripping at the same point, sparks flying. But the torque bow from Gears of War was
Okay.
the best weapon that was kind of replicated, I think, in Fortnite later, and it just wasn't the same. So essentially, it's like a crossbow feature that when the arrow goes in you, it explodes.
Okay.
So you just hear the think, and as soon as you hear that think, you just know that it just hit someone. You just hear beep beep beep. Pow.
Oh, that's okay. I like that.
It's incredible. It's like it's the most satisfying feeling knowing you just got a kill with the torque bow. Just jamming that arrow into the bad guy's little locust chest and just watching them explode.
Now, I wanted to see if you would allow me to do a part 2, because I also feel like you could kind of include this. Because if you didn't have an answer for gun, I was going to say like a power up. So, like, argument's sake, most iconic power up in any game ever, obviously, is the mushroom from Super Mario.
Okay.
I would either say the mushroom or like the flower. Like, it's got to be one of those two, like most popular, most iconic. But I'm asking you, what's your favorite one? If you want to just stick with the gun from Gears, that's fine. I've got an answer for both.
I got an answer. It's just probably not what you're expecting.
No, I mean, listen, that's what this is. I want obscure answers. This isn't like, what I'm expecting, what anyone else is expecting. This is Johnny Clash. What is your favorite gun and your favorite power up from a video game?
So I'll say kind of two as well. So Batman on the Game Boy, one of the greatest games in history. You could get this little like Batman logo that kind of circles you, and it takes that, instead of taking your life away, it takes that. So that is... Yeah, so like that's your force field type thing.
Yeah.
And other than that, in NHL Hits 03, when you just start lighting on fire and you could just speed down the ice and rip everyone and
that's a
shoot
good one.
like Richter in the face with a puck.
That's a good one. I like that one.
Yeah. What about you?
So my two favorite or most iconic guns, I think, in my childhood, I have to say the BFG from Doom, because I played a lot of Doom when I was a youth. And
we played that in school.
that seems appropriate. And in my adult life, or when I was like late teens, the Patriot from Metal Gear Solid 3, which was that.
I'm not familiar.
Okay, so imagine this. It's an assault rifle with like a Tommy gun, 2 Tommy gun drums on the bottom, and it just is infinite ammo.
Oh, okay. I'm Googling this thing.
Yeah, it's nuts looking. And then in terms of items, I think I might go the bandana from like the first Metal Gear Solid that gives you the infinite ammo.
Not the bandana that you pick up in Raw on Xbox and you just put it on your head for no reason?
Yeah. Yes, that's it.
Okay.
I'm going to go with John
Swan
Cena's
tutu?
boots from WWE 11. That's going to... SmackDown vs. Raw 2011. John Cena's boots.
Perfect. Okay, I think we've gotten a little carried away now.
Yes, all right. But, as always, now we would like to propose the question to you. Let us know on any form of social media your favorite gun/power-up/weapon from any game series. It doesn't have to be a major one. It's just something that is meaningful and important to you. And with that, John, what do you say we throw it into our deep dive for WWF WrestleFest?
Let's go, baby. Hey guys, Johnny here. While we love talking about video games and wrestling here on the podcast, we wanted to share with you a new offer from our friends at Stitcher. An enormous amount of shows and bonus episodes are available on Stitcher Premium, such as Office Ladies, Comedy Bang Bang, WTF with Mark Aaron, How Did This Get Made, Bitch Sesh, True Crime Garage, Marvel's Wolverine, and plenty more. Right now you could sign up for Stitcher Premium for only $4.99 a month or $34.99 a year using our code GameMarksPodcast. That's all one word. Head on over to Stitcher.com/premium for this amazing deal and a free month. That's Stitcher.com/premium and use code GameMarksPodcast. That's all one word. Game on, Marks.
All right, so WWF WrestleFest released June of 1991 for arcade cabinets. Full goddamn stop. That's it. It was an arcade game. That's the only place that you were able to play it until later times, which we won't talk about because the game wasn't that great. Developed and published by Technos Japan. Now, WrestleFest is the sequel to Superstars.
And those are only a few years apart, right?
Yeah, 1989 to 1991. So I was not aware.
one.
I don't think I played Superstars.
I definitely did, and I was one when it came out.
I do remember playing WrestleFest as a kid. This was the most nostalgia of nostalgia kicks. I actually forgot that this was the game that I had played. I just assumed that it was some random knockoff with people that just looked like the wrestlers from my television.
Okay, I could see that, I guess.
Yeah, I just assumed that it was like, oh, I'm just playing a random generic wrestling game in the arcade. It's not actually like a WWF game. Number one, let's just get this right out of the way. John, first thing you said when we started up this game and we were playing it was we're talking about the crowd.
Oh, the crowd. Oh my god. Okay, I'm the biggest crowd stickler. It's a bad
Crowd
crowd.
mark.
It kind of ruins. I'm a crowd mark. It kind of ruins the game for me. During the entrances, which we'll get to in the gameplay. Oh, chef's kiss to the crowd because they are hanging over the guardrail. They're pointing at you. They're trash talking you. Everyone's animated. Everyone looks pretty damn good. They're hanging over. They're like, screw you, Ultimate Warrior. Beautiful, beautiful. If you don't know what this looks like, go on YouTube and check it out. It's got that classic WWF entrance with the guardrails. It's very tight, like not like a huge Titantron like it is now, like the big ramp. It's like that thin aisleway they used to have.
Now, this is 2 weeks in a row that we did Chef Kiss. Is that a new thing that we're doing now? Are we stealing that from Bobby?
I just listened to last week's episode yesterday, so it's fresh. I'm behind on my spitting chiclets.
So this game for an arcade cabinet actually has some announcing. It's got ring announcing by Mike McGurk.
Mike McGurk.
And the scenes with Mean Gene Okerlund are actually voiced by Mean Gene. So that is a nice, little bit of, what's the word that I'm looking for? Reinforcing the product.
Yeah, there you go. Actually, so I don't know if you knew this, but Mike McGurk is actually a female announcer. While named Michael, middle name is Kathleen, and she was actually married to another wrestling legend of the Killer Bees, Brian Blair.
Okay, I get this now. Now it makes sense. But how come when you're in a match, it's a guy?
It's not.
Oh, no, because commentary is different than the ring announcer, John.
Exactly, and when Mike came in the ring, I even said, "Is that Pamela Anderson?"
Yes, that's where my brain just had the massive brain fart. Listen, I have had 0 coffee today.
I actually know absolutely nothing about Mike McGurk, so
I am not familiar. I'm 99.9% sure this is way before our time. All right, so jumping right into the gameplay, I don't think there's a simpler game. Analog stick, 2 buttons, done.
That's it. It's your typical arcade game. It could go up to 4 players, of course, and you insert the coins, the credits come. Now, here's something that used to annoy me. Back in the day, you're ever playing either this, maybe The Simpsons, maybe Turtles in Time, anything in the arcade cabinet, and here comes little baby junior son of a bitch. Another kid just walks up next to you, inserts his coin, and now you're partners
real name?
for life. Yeah. And now you're partners. Now you're stuck with this guy. He's probably not going to be good. You probably don't want him there. You probably just want to be with Michelangelo by yourself. But no, here he comes, and he just ruins everything.
Yep. You know why? Because all he does is hit A and B at the same time and just wastes away his health doing the special move, which you're only supposed to say for the boss. Listen, man, I've been there. I know your pain.
Yeah, this happened.
John, I promise you,
in Montreal,
if we ever go to an arcade, and we find a Turtles in Time cabinet, I will not do that to you. That's my promise to you.
If we start together, sure. If it's like the plan, like, hey, let's do this. But if some like random person just joins in, now you're
Oh, if
like
10-year-old George is walking up to 10-year-old John, I'm assuming you're that guy, and you're assuming I'm that guy, and we're not playing. I'm like, this guy doesn't know what the hell he's doing. He's just going to use this special move all the time. And
Yeah,
you're going to
probably.
look at me going, oh, that guy's going to do the same thing. Yeah.
Oh, he's just Marge throwing his vacuum everywhere.
Just keeps throwing a skateboard. Doesn't even know how to play his part.
He's just skating around. But 2 modes are available in this game. I preferred Royal Rumble mode, where you pick one superstar and you typically, take him through a Royal Rumble match. Now, as you get eliminated, if you have the coins, if you got the cash, you could come back in the game as a different character or the same character. Choice is yours. And the other mode is Saturday Night's Main Event, where you must pick 2 wrestlers to form a tag team. Now, your ultimate goal in Saturday Night's Main Event is to clash, no pun intended, with the Legion of Doom, the WWF Tag Team Champions. And now, after each match, a little icon of Hulk Hogan appears on the bottom and says how many matches until you reach the Legion of Doom.
Throws
And
a little blind punch behind him, knocks down
blind punch,
knocks down a number.
number, swooshes into the next number, and tells you how long. Now, as you go on, I think this was one of the coolest features of Saturday Night Main Event mode was each match, like the ring canvas, the apron, it all changed. The logo changed. It was a big WWF logo. Then it was WWF Wrestling. Then one of the matches, you're actually in a steel cage, and it's not just a cage that's there just for show. When you whip a guy into the ropes, they actually hit the cage instead of the ropes, and they go down, which is pretty cool. Good feature for an arcade game.
Yeah, and the tag feature took me a while to figure out, because in my head, there was no way that it was going to be as simple as walking to your corner and hitting the punch button.
That's it.
But that's all it was. I thought it was going to be like, all right, you got to go here, do this crazy combination, and then that's the only way that you're getting in. So simple. Like, this game is, like, perfectly made for kids who have no idea what the hell they're doing. Or 30-year-olds who are hosting a podcast and have no idea what they're doing.
Exactly. But as I was waiting for you to tag me to figure it out, I'm actually charging up on the outside, and I'll eventually get a power up. And once I get tagged in with the power up, you can come in the ring, and your grapples will do more damage than usual, which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
especially against the Road Warriors, because they are pretty hard to beat.
Unbelievable. Now, let's just really quick, we talked briefly about the crowd, but let's just talk about the overall aesthetics of this game, because it really is, I mean, I'll do it now too. It really is just chef kiss. It's beautiful. The graphics are clean. The animations are smooth. The wrestlers look like the wrestlers. The moves that they do look like the moves that they would be doing in real life. Like, I played as Jake. Jake does the DDT. He does literally everything that he did to set up the DDT. Hooks it in, swings the arm, kicks the leg back, and drops it. Like, it's perfect.
Even the facial expressions, like outside the ring, like you just tag out, you're hurt, like your guy's huffing and puffing, you see their mouth moving. I noticed during, like we said, we were Jake, you were Jake, I was Mr. Perfect. Walking down the ramp, Jake's all calm, cool, collected. Mr. Perfect's walking next to him, and his mouth is going. It couldn't be more perfect. Either he's chewing that gum or he's mouthing off to the fans. It was great.
Yeah, it was awesome. It's, you know what it is, and we've talked about this a lot in other games. It's those subtle little nuanced details that, if you were just an average person walking by and playing this game, you wouldn't think twice about it. You would just think that it's, general showmanship. But like, for someone who follows the product, knows, the ins and outs of like what these characters do and follow them on a weekly basis, like that's good fan service. Like, that's what you want in a video game, and this delivers in tenfold.
They even sell their ribs when they're hurt.
Yeah, it's love it.
Now here's where they get you. You could be on the verge of losing. Your health could be down. All you have to do is insert a coin. Your health recharges right back up. So you could be sitting there, $5 of coins in your hand. You're running through this game.
Oh yeah, I definitely did. I definitely ran through some some $5 bills. Yeah.
And while there is an end, and you can win the Royal Rumble, there's really not much of an end to Saturday Night's Main Event, because once you beat the Legion of Doom, which is your ultimate goal, you just defend the titles, and after that, it's just kind of boring.
Then you're just going for the high score, the tier list.
That's it.
Looking to put in those three initials.
Today, I hit number 10.
I think I did 3 or 4 runs today. First run, I got like 8th place, and then the last run I got like 2nd or 3rd, and I was like, all right, I'm good.
There you go. Did you try to actually put your initials in all those games, or did you try to like think of something funny?
I put GMP in every time.
No, I mean when you were little. At an actual arcade.
I think it depended on the score. Like if I was playing like Cruisin' World and I got like slot 10, whatever, I'm putting ass in or something.
It was always ass.
But like if I'm playing, you know, one of the time cop or whatever, and I get number 1 on the leaderboards, you better believe like those are my initials. My initials are going up there.
Yeah, I don't think I had the patience. I think it was just AAA, unless it was like later when it was Guitar Hero and you could actually put a name in.
Yeah, well, some of the shooter games actually like just brought up all the letters, and you could just shoot what letter it was.
Yeah, which I still want to go see in Dave & Buster's in New York City if I still have the high score in the used Pretty Handsome Awkward on Expert.
All right, well, if you live in that area, if you live in the New York City area and you know where the Dave & Buster's is, please go and confirm whether Johnny Clash has the high score there.
Probably not.
Let us know at GameMarksPod on social media.
But everything about the sprites, to the moves, to the finishers, everything in this game was so well thought out. I made a comment to you during, I think, the Royal Rumble that Mr. Perfect, usually he'll get just like, they'll throw like the baby blue singlet on him. This one was bright. It had the green on the back. Like Warrior looked bright. Hogan looked tan with the yellow trunks looking jacked. Like every single thing they put into this game, the art style, perfect. It was just perfect. No pun intended again.
Each character has their, like, I guess you could say, like, their signature grapple. So, like, if you're Hogan, you do the big boot, and that's like your signature. There's a big boot
was beautiful,
and it leads into you doing your leg drop. As Warrior, you do the gorilla press, which then set you up for the splash. Like every little detail and animation is so great. They put a lot of time and a lot of effort into every aspect of this game, and it's beautiful. But
if you want to I just want to say, if you want to appreciate what goes into the game, the interview next week is kind of going to give a glimpse of, and this was 1991. You could just imagine how much harder it was then. We're going to hear about a game coming out now of the same caliber that's still pretty damn hard to do.
And take into consideration the current state of the world, and they're still developing this amazing, incredible game. Like, it's awesome. It's great. It's actually inspiring.
Very, very.
But last week we had Bobby Orlando read through the roster of a whopping 4 people, 5 people maybe.
Yeah, 4 or 5 with a hidden character who's not so hidden.
Hidden character on the cover. Great detail.
Hidden character.
I think I will take on reading this list if you would like, and then you can take on the re-release list if you're up for it.
Sure, go for it.
All right. So the roster for WWF WrestleFest is as follows: Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, Big Boss Man, Sergeant Slaughter, Mr. Perfect, Earthquake, Ted DiBiase, Jake the Snake Roberts, Smash, Crush, and the Legion of Doom, Animal and Hawk, who are non-playable characters. You only get to beat them up.
That's like, I don't know, like, I would pick them. So that kind of sucks.
Oh, absolutely.
Pick them for the Saturday night's main event because
I would
be there.
Absolutely pick them.
They should at least let you pick them like after you win the tag titles, but I guess that doesn't make sense for continuing the game.
I mean, you could just program random people to be the championship every time you play.
Well, here's a fun fact. The Road Warriors are going to be in Retromania this year. And
Unreal.
You can play as them.
Can't wait. Super pumped.
But speaking of new people joining the game roster, on February 21st of 2012, THQ actually re-released this game for the iOS, featuring both current roster members at the time and former wrestlers as WWE WrestleFest. Now, it had a new logo, not the classic logo. I'm sorry, WWE WrestleFest. But I don't know, it just wasn't the same. I'm going to read through that roster now, which is John Cena, The Rock, Randy Orton, Rey Mysterio, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Undertaker, Jake the Snake Roberts, and Macho Man Randy Savage.
Now, I'm going to do a quick little Google here. So, John, you have Apple product, don't you?
I am actually very new to the Apple product. My last iPhone was the iPhone 4, and I am back on the wagon with a 10.
Can you go to your store and type in WrestleFest and see if it still comes up? Because when I type in WrestleFest into the Google Play Store, the only thing that comes up is WWE Champions.
Nope, I'm getting Slam Mania, WWE Mayhem, which I resent the name of, Wrestling World Mania, 80s Mania Wrestling, which actually looks similar, and Supercard. So no.
Yeah.
And WWE Universe with a nice screenshot of our good pal Brian Myers getting beat up by John Cena. But what I was actually thinking is, so Macho Man's in the re-release. I'm like, why wasn't he in the actual game? But 1991 was actually Macho Man's retirement for a brief time.
Yeah, that's when he was supposed to be a commentator, and he was only a commentator.
Yeah. They're never just a commentator. But
now, I was just going to set you up for the rest of the stuff. Now,
set it up.
Aside from the roster, are there any other differences? Because I never got to play the iOS version because I have never owned an Apple product in my entire life. So I'm curious. Any new features? Anything different?
The only differences are Saturday night's main event, Royal Rumble, are still game modes, but they also added a one-on-one, a tag team, a steel cage, and a gauntlet match, along with online multiplayer. So, also they added Road to WrestleMania mode, where a player goes through a series of matches and tries to win various WWE titles.
Very that's kind of cool
for a mobile game. And a series of downloadable content packs were released for the game, adding additional wrestlers and arenas. Now, this was slated to be on the PS3 and 360 and Android, but it never got released.
I would have to imagine because this game was probably hot garbage.
Honestly, I don't even remember it coming out. I don't remember hearing anything about it in 2012. I don't know if because I wasn't an iOS person. I don't know. I honestly don't remember anything about that.
I actually remember hearing something about them doing like a arcade remake for the mobile, and I was like, all right. I could get behind this, and then it was just kind of like one of those flash in the pan things where it was just like, hey, this thing is super cool and it's coming out, and then all of a sudden it was just like, on to the next thing. Fuck that game. No one cares about it. And I was like, oh, all right, cool. Never mind.
On to All Stars. So the artwork, I think, for this game is pretty iconic.
Oh, absolutely.
It's your typical 90s, like, school picture artwork, like with the laser background behind you.
I love it.
Even the arcade cabinet comes with the lasers behind it, the big WrestleFest letters in like the WrestleMania font, WWF logo. It's got all the wrestlers around it. It's beautiful.
John, I got an idea that I want to throw your way right now. I would like us to produce our very first Game Marks Pod 8x10, and I would like the background to our first 8x10 to be this wonderful, wonderful middle school class yearbook picture. I want that to be the background.
Perfect. Oh, perfect. Speaking of perfect, I'm looking at this now. This is it looks like a magazine ad of some sort from Technos for WrestleFest. It says, put big time profits in your corner. So I guess it's an ad like, hey, put this game in your arcade. But almost all the wrestlers are showing typical promo shots, except Mr. Perfect just has someone in a headlock.
Oh, yeah.
It's just one of those design things I noticed because I put together wrestling posters. Just take a damn promo picture.
I mean, they really do look like yearbook pictures.
They do, which is funny. Hulk Hogan's like smiling all awkwardly, like with those bug eyes.
Slaughter, especially. Slaughter's got like, this is a yearbook poster, like a yearbook poster background, and then Slaughter's in there, and his background of his headshot is like a yearbook background.
Yeah, the lamp. He's looking off into the distance.
Amazing.
How about we now throw to some fast facts?
Alrighty.
The cabinet is not very easy to find these days on eBay, though there are PCB boards and complete customizing kits for the arcade 1-up cabinets to transform yours into WWF WrestleFest.
A bar top version of WrestleFest is available at RetroGamingHouse.com for approximately $1,200.
Yeesh, and if you're looking for the original cabinet, check out GameRoom-Goodies.com for only $3,495. How about we take two?
I'm in. John, just real quick.
Should we start a GoFundMe?
I said, do we have a company card yet? Are we a company yet?
We're not, but keep, like we said, there's a pro wrestling tee sale going on.
Can we get a company card so that we can put one on it?
Honestly, I'm all for actually just customizing a cabinet. Like, I know you have a cabinet. I would like to get one or build one. I would like to build one. Why not just build one?
I mean, you could find the stencils. It's not hard. That being said, eventually, if anyone is interested in buying a Marvel vs. Capcom machine arcade cabinet, hit us up.
I used to love that game.
I also love that game. The problem is, I have nowhere to put it. It is a full-size arcade cabinet.
Get rid of that detolf behind you.
No. Is that what you want the bachelor? I don't think you realize how small that, like, the corner that the detolf is in.
All right, the drums got to go. The drums are going.
Barely big enough for the detolf.
Get rid of them drums.
Oh, never. I'd get rid of the detolf for that. But I want to talk about something really quick. So, the bar top arcade phenomenon, it's really interesting to me because, like, you think of a bar top game, you're thinking like poker, you're thinking
those
blackjack, you're thinking
little,
yeah. Like, if I go to a bar and they've got this WrestleFest bar top, I'm in. Like, that's becoming my new favorite place.
Yeah, I'm not moving my seat after that.
Oh, absolutely. I'm locked in. I'm zoned in. I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah, it's always those bad poker games.
They were very, very true to the original cabinet style, which and I'm sure you as a designer as well, appreciate. Like, the background's the same, the side panels are the same, the top banner is the same. Like, oh God. All right, John, I got a very important question for you, John.
Sure.
We've touched on a few arcade games that have more or less been ported to other consoles. I'm not going to consider this an arcade with a console port because it never was. Mobile doesn't count.
No.
Do they actually do ratings and reviews for arcade cabinets, and did they do them in 1991?
So I found a few, and just a few. Obviously, there's the user ratings.
Tell me what IMDb thought about it.
IMDb. Oh no, there's no IMDb rating. Obviously, there's the user ratings. Like, GameSpot gave it an 8.4, which is pretty good for the fans. WWE WrestleFest, the re-release, only got a 6, obviously, but UK publication Zero gave the game a 3 out of 5, said that while the graphics were cartoony, the game does still manage to project the aggression of life in the ring. So why the hell did you only give it a 3 out of 5? Sinclair user rated the game with an 88 out of 100, citing the game's variety of characters and high replay value. So why is it an 88? And Computer and Video Games, which I guess was a publication, also gave the game a positive review describing the gameplay as highly enjoyable. Now, I agree.
This may be my favorite week of reviews that we've done in almost a year of this podcast, because there's no decimal points. Everything was short and sweet and to the point, and I didn't have to do weird math to figure out averages.
No.
It was great. So this is usually the part where we'll throw to the Clash at the Feast section. But aside from the Royal Rumble section of the game, there's not really a versus mode. And John and I both got eliminated. So we decided to not count that as a Clash at the Feast because we just kept coming back in. And at the end, it was me and him. And Johnny stood tall on that. But we decided that because we both got eliminated, that we weren't going to count it and not do a Clash at the Feast this week. But we did play through Saturday night's main event a few times, and that is, again, Chef Kiss. Mwah, so lovely, very fun. Obviously, you boys won as Jake Roberts and Mr. Perfect, so amazing. And,
well, let's talk about what happens when you win.
Oh, okay, all right.
So you get this beautiful illustrative graphic of your team together, which is something I wouldn't normally expect to see. Like it's essentially a Photoshop image of your team. Like Jake the Snake and Mr. Perfect most likely don't have a tag team picture together. Like they probably don't have a tag team picture for every combo of wrestlers in this game. But there's a beautiful crowd shot. It's us. It's actually Jake the Snake holding up Damien, and it's Mr. Perfect throwing his arms up with the Intercontinental belt around his waist. And there's Mean Gene doing kind of like his old school WWF TV breakdown of the match, telling you what happened, telling you that we are the new tag team champions. We'll post the picture of what it looks like when you win.
And I think with that, John, we've pretty much done everything else. I think it's time to rate the games.
The game!
So, John, I would like to bring back something that we haven't done in a while. The simultaneous Play It Forever Future Endeavor for WWF WrestleFest arcade cabinet from 1991. Are you with me?
I'm with you.
All right, so 3, 2, 1. Play it forever.
What you gonna do, brother, when the Hulkamaniacs run wild on you and WrestleFest is a goddamn play it forever?
Woo!
Dude, it's in the script. Come on.
Oh, I'm sorry. I must have missed that line. You want a retake or it's just good as it is?
No.
Or?
We're good.
All right, cool.
We both play it forever.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know who in their right mind would not play this forever. I mean, this game literally has something for everybody. It has insane replay value. If you can't find the tabletop version, if it's not in your budget to buy the tabletop version, find it online. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of websites that host online emulators. There's actual emulators that you can download for your computer. I can feel Brian Myers scratching his head about that statement right now. And you got to play it. It's got, like I said, it's got something for everybody. And I love it. I think it might be top 5 wrestling games of all time, or maybe top 5 games that we've done on the pod.
It has to be. But I'm really shocked it didn't come out on a console. I mean, I'm sure there's reasons why, but I will also say that most games that do translate from arcade to console are very different. And I'm grateful for what we have here in the arcade version, and I maybe just don't want to know what a console version in 1991 would have been like.
Yeah, well, because I'm trying to think. Console version 1991, you're looking at getting it for either a Nintendo, Super Nintendo, or Sega.
See, I feel like the Sega version would be great, and the other ones, I'm not getting. I'm not going to get into that today.
I guess you're looking at Super Nintendo versus Sega Genesis, which
we've had our share of debates about games.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? C'est la vie.
C'est la vie.
All right.
We're happy with what it is, and we're happy with the sequel that's coming out. Georgie, tell them about it.
All right. So, like we mentioned earlier, next week on the podcast, we are sitting down with the owner and team lead of RetroSoft Studios, Mr. Mike Herman, and we are talking to him about RetroFest Wrestling, the official sequel to WrestleFest. And I got to tell you, if you don't know about this game, do yourself a favor. Google it. Find it however you can. Look at the screenshots. It pays such incredible homage to this game, and I have already pre-ordered it. I'm very excited about it. And I already told John that we are immediately covering it as soon as it gets released. So whatever we have planned in the schedule for that week is now gone. And when RetroFest officially comes out, that is what we're playing that week. It will be a drop of a hat call. And yeah, I mean, that's it. John, are you down for that?
Yeah, please check out their social media, especially lately. They've been posting a lot of clips of top rope moves and the collision. The collision is beautiful. The way Johnny, I'll call him Johnny Retro because that's his name in the game. Johnny, many names. Johnny Retro, the way he dove onto his opponent, the way he caught him, and they both go down. Oh, it's beautiful. It's just beautiful. It definitely pays tribute to this version. It definitely still has the same feel, the same retro feel of it. And you could hear next week by talking to Mike Herman, he was very, very passionate about WrestleFest itself. So bringing that 30 years later into a game that he's developing with his team, it's all there. The heart's there. That's all you need in the game.
Absolutely. And I think with that, John, what do you say we put a bow on it?
Let's go home.
That's going to do it for us this week on the Game Marks Podcast. Please check out our Pro Wrestling Tees store at prowrestlingtees.com/GameMarksPod. Make use of that sale while you can, guys. It is currently the best way besides listening to support the podcast, and be sure to follow us on all forms of social media at GameMarksPod. Leave us a review and a rating on Apple Podcasts, and subscribe wherever great podcasts can be found. This is the part where I tell everybody to be safe and wash their hands, John. Wear your masks. Be smart. I want to go outside again soon, so everyone be safe. Thanks for hanging out with us this week, guys. Johnny, say goodbye.
Insert your coins because it's game over, Marks.
That was good. That was good.
Game Marks Podcast, put them on the radar. Playing rare games, Sega Saturn, no Game Shark. Johnny and George work hard and they play hard. Future endeavor games and put them in the graveyard. From the deep dive to the clash at the feast. How can I get more? That's question of the week. Follow on Twitch, there's nothing that they won't play. Game Marks Podcast every single Monday.